Soundstripe.
Trying to get a lot of dough. Anything is possible. Turn me up in the headphone.
Soundstripe.
Yeah. Trying to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Yeah. Oh man, I got a lot of goals. Stack that bread and by my nose. Anything is possible. Yeah. Trying to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Hey. Oh man, I got a lot of goals.
Welcome back to the XandO Sports Show. I'm your host, Ricky G. Stanley. We got the one and only Coach P with us tonight. What's going on, Coach P?
What's going on, brother?
I'm about to say, we had so much going on. We got baseball going on. We got football. We got coaching. Between all that, it's been pretty fun, but it's been almost like a full-time job.
Somebody's got to do it, man. Somebody's got to do it.
Of course. I was about to say, so everybody knows Coach P's from Ohio. You know, he's a defensive back. He's a coach. You know, he's a guru of the secondary on the back end. But Coach P, how is the good old weather in Ohio over there?
Man, it is extremely nice, especially for this time of year with the fall just coming on. My time of year. Awesome. Could wear shorts up here now. Never remembered that as a kid, being able to wear shorts this time of year and not be, it's like extremely warm. It's in the mid 80s up here. And I'm like, wow.
Cool. I'm about to say, so as usual, Coach P, he's not a stranger up here. So normally we cover the Saturday games. Now we're going to be transparent. We're not going to cover the Thursday game because it's not going to be hitting on too much. So we elected to cover a better game. But of course, we're going to start off with some of the biggest games on Saturday. One of the games I want to start off with is Texas versus Oklahoma. I'll go first. I like Texas in this one. This is why. There's three reasons. They're fast, they're physical, and they're balanced. Now, I looked at both sides. Oklahoma, they can throw that thing. But it's easier to prepare for a team that they're going to throw the ball 60 to 65% of the time. Now, I watched Texas very close, especially when they played Alabama. They're harder to predict because of the tendencies of they love to run and pass in the same series. Sometimes, like if you watch my Philadelphia Eagles, we'll get pass heavy some series and then we go run heavy. They stay balanced no matter what the score is. And I think it's going to be harder to defend somebody like that. Also, Dylan Gabriel, you better have your chin strap ready because I think they're going to bring it and put some wood on Dylan. And I got Texas in a close one. I got them winning by 7. So what you got, Coach?
Red River shootout. Nothing like a rivalry game. Some of these guys are going into their conference. They're getting ready to be going into the SEC. So it's going to be real interesting to see how this one shapes up. I'm going to go with Texas because really and truly I hadn't seen anybody of relevance that Oklahoma played this year. So getting into a game with a schedule like this, and that was a big step that Texas took this year going to Alabama and returning the favor of beating them at their home field. So I'm going to go with Texas. I'm going to agree with you on that one.
Okay. Like I said, Texas, by them being balanced, it's tough because they love to run the football just as much as they love to throw it. They're efficient with throwing. That's why everybody they're pass heavy, but they're actually not. They actually, I think it's like 51-50, but it's more on the run game. But next up, I chose a specific team just because I feel like this game is what we call a trap game. Everybody got this team winning, and they can very well win this game. But this team that they're playing against is undefeated, and I think they're dangerous. This matchup is going to be Ohio State versus Maryland. Now, Maryland, like I said, is 5-0. They're also at the top on their side. They're just not ranked. Ohio State is on the other side. Now, Ohio State has to take care of business and put little Tua down early. Because Tua Tagovailoa's little brother plays for Maryland as a quarterback. If they go ahead and put the wood to him early, get him a little rattled, I think Ohio State can go in and put them away. But if you turn this into a shootout, they could be in trouble with Maryland. But I got Ohio State winning. Who you got, Coach? There, you say you ain't been too fond of your offense, so I want to hear
Okay,
your opinion.
the thing I'm gonna tell you is this: escaping from touchdown Jesus by giving them a touchdown with their 10 men on the field, but that was a couple weeks ago now. Getting the opportunity to take some time off to get some issues corrected, get a couple people healthy, still touch and go right now with Marvin. But at the same time, that was a big step for a quarterback. In that it was a couple of throws he made that were very important to what took place to even get down the field in that time frame. We're going to win because the game is at home. Respectfully so, I'm proud of Maryland, what they've been doing this year. As far as teams that you can root for in the conference, yes, Big Ten guy here. You know, I grew up down there as well, but I'm a Big Ten guy. But any coach of color, I'm going to root for. And it's just me. Might not be right, but that's how I feel. I root for Maryland. I root for their team up north until they play us, which is crazy. But Maryland is they're going to suffer their first loss this weekend coming to Columbus.
Do you think you're going to handle them pretty well, or it could be, cut down to?
It's going to be a better game. The line right now, I haven't really checked the line. I didn't, but when we talk on Saturday night, it won't be like the last time you text me on Saturday night and said we escaped. we got to start sending some messages too, because Penn State is doing what they're doing. You already see what the number 2 team is doing right now. Cupcake City. But when that time comes, we're going to be ready for that challenge, because having what you have in front of you, it's going to be interesting to see how we go down the stretch here.
Okay. All right. I like that. And I think, like I said, Maryland, I think they play a strong, start to the year. Now, it depends on how they finish the season. I think you could face them again since they're on the other side. So, like I said, that could be, the battle of who can make adjustments late in the season. So I think that'll be a good matchup if they actually win out their side. Now, the next game. Now, this is another ranked versus non-ranked team. But I've seen this non-ranked team play, and I think they can play with anybody. They just ain't got the pieces together. It is Alabama versus Texas A&M. Now, I saw them up close. Now, we did beat them. Now, but that's the thing, what makes me look at them, I'm like, we played them well. We had to put pressure on that quarterback. We had to put a little wood on them, and we took care of them. But them grown men outside, I think it's number 1 and number 4, right, they gave us problems. And I think they'll give anybody the business if that quarterback has the time. If Alabama do not put pressure on them, it's going to be 9 balls. It ain't going to be no post. It's going to be 9 balls, jump balls in the end zone all night. Like I said, luckily we played the trail technique and had a safety over top. And everybody know it is no secret. Alabama loves man coverage. And when you got 2 guys, 6'4" and 6'6" on the outside, they're going to throw it. So, But I do have Alabama winning. But if they don't take care of business, they've been upset by Texas A&M twice. Once by Johnny Manziel and 2 years ago as well, if I'm mistaken. So Texas A&M has the guns. And plus it's Jimbo. Jimbo, he just get his rocks off and try to beat Alabama. But who you got, Coach?
It's going to be interesting. Like you said, the big key in this game is going to be quarterback play. Mm-hmm. Alabama feels like they have their issues straight with their line because they have a lot of size, but not having a lot of time together. And it's been showing this past season. And slowly but surely, the confidence of Alabama Milroe's been growing. Mm-hmm. So understanding the significance of this game, the 12th man is going to play a big role in this game. Big game at 3:30. Interesting to say. I sat down with my son and watched your team, you and his team, beat this Texas A&M team, and it was a good game. Texas A&M being at home, I think Alabama gonna stand up, man, and pull it off. It's not an upset because they are ranked, and Texas A&M, I still don't understand what their ranking is or why it's not moved up anymore. But I think that the Burgundy team, as far as the Tide goes, is going to some kind of way go to College Station and pull this one out.
Okay. How about to say, I think, like I said, I feel like they're gonna. But now I had to double check on the ranking. So Texas A&M actually is not ranked.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I still don't understand that with the only loss to a team that hadn't lost at all, which is the Hurricanes.
Yeah.
I really don't understand that. Oh, want to go back on you. You said something, and I wanted to make sure not correcting you, but helping you understand. Maryland is on our side as far as the Big Ten goes. I just wanted to let you know that. So
who did that?
the West side, no, well, see, you got to understand it's the East and the West up here.
Yeah.
And the East, Penn State, Maryland, Michigan. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't supposed to say Michigan while I'm here. The team up north, Ohio State, Rutgers, Michigan State, and Indiana. That's one side. The other side is Wisconsin, Minnesota, Purdue, Iowa, Northwestern, Illinois, and Nebraska. That's the other side. So understanding, yeah, it's gonna be nice when Washington and Oregon and USC and UCLA when they come, SEC, ACC, all the rest of y'all conferences get ready.
And so, like, I'll never forget it in several years. It seemed like no matter how that conference is set up, it seemed like all the good teams always be on one side.
Well, that's how it's been amazing for the couple of years now that with Team Up North and us being as good as we were, we would only play or get down to that last game. And fortunately, last year we both did get in, but normally an SEC team would, the Roll Tide team would lose a game and then still be able to go to the four. But because they lost 2 games, they couldn't go last year. And that was the reason why that we even got in by just losing the game that we did lose to the team up north in our rivalry game. But understanding it, the conference breakdown next year now, whoever the best is, if they lose that one game, it's just going to be one whole division now.
Oh, so they're getting rid of both sides. Okay.
Yeah. And if you come up and, I just want to know how they're going to do this once this thing comes up, because it's going to be really crazy. Just like Texas and Oklahoma going to the SEC. That's going to be interesting, man. Yeah, that's going to be really interesting because stuff that we knew being younger, because I remember the Big 12 when Missouri and Arkansas, Colorado, Texas, Nebraska, all those guys were in one thing. And, when Missouri left first, and then, it's just amazing how that conference now.
So did Missouri and A&M leave the same year?
Yes. Yes. They left the Big 12. And all this stuff is about money, man. It's amazing. All this stuff is about money. Like we said before we went on the air, the technical problems and stuff, but it's pertaining to money. And then I was just looking at a clip, and I'm gonna get back on your games with you. But it's amazing to see Coach Saban. I think it was coach at Dabo. Then it was I think it was Smart, and then it was Day, as far as how much those guys get paid now. And I remember it's steady growing up, but I know Coach made 11 with an M behind it. Coach Saban did. And they said, wonder why the players are getting paid. You gotta pay them now.
Yeah. And like the thing is, you can't pay coaches pennies anymore because you can't really. A kid making 1.2 million and his coach is making 60,000. You think he's going to listen to him? Of course
Well,
not.
that was a big thing that a lot of guys that played, Coach Prime for one, and we can't do a segment without talking about him. But it's amazing how when you see the money that some of the guys are getting before they even go to the league. Now, quarterback in Texas, he was a Buckeye. He left his senior year and came to the Ohio State University. Didn't even play, and sat there for a year, and then he went back home to Texas. And it was amazing that he had $1 million when he came to school. And I'm like, that's when that stuff was first starting to take place, the NIL. But it's great, and I know you're looking forward to it. In a couple of years, your little man be doing his thing.
Yeah,
it's gonna be interesting.
He's gonna definitely be. He already talking about I'll play football. I told him we'll see in the 7th grade. But speaking of football, the last game I got, these guys are like a thorn in my side. And of course, when I say my side, of course I'm talking about my Miami Hurricanes. It's Georgia Tech. They're 3-3. But I always feel uneasy playing against these guys. I don't know what it is about Georgia. We just don't get up for them or what. But they always find a way to either make it interesting. They'll make it interesting or they'll beat us. One year I never forget, it was like that 2016 year, I think. We went 10-0 and we played against Georgia Tech and we won 16-15. It was like every single play we had to fight for. A couple years later, we played Georgia Tech. They make us fight again. Even in basketball with my Miami Hurricanes, the only team we lost to in the ACC starting out was Georgia Tech. And I was like, maybe it's because it'd be early games or what, but yeah, they find a way to get up against us. I'll tell you that.
I think it's a little different now. You can thank Joel Klatt outside of your crystal ball of recognizing you guys and showing. I think it'll be a little different this time around because knowing what you guys are looking forward to, not at the end of the year, but you got some games coming up that this is one of those games that's going to help you prepare for that because your past history with Georgia Tech. And I see you guys taking care of business and looking forward, I'm looking forward to the Clemsons and the eventually if you get I don't know if you play, you should play Carolina. Or I know you play State. But
we play Carolina and State. Hopefully, I don't think we got to try to think we play Duke this year. Are they on a roll like a side of slow?
Yeah, you don't play Duke now. I know you don't play Duke, but I know they're supposed to come to North Carolina twice this year. But I didn't think it was I don't know if it was Wake I thought they were playing, but I know they're coming to play North Carolina State. But I think in answering the question about the game, I really think that, like I said, going back, Ohio State, Alabama, Miami, and the big one this weekend, NFL, but I'm still let you drive.
Okay. So the one in speaking of that, like I said, I got my Hurricanes. I think we're gonna, at least beat them by 17. Right. We're probably not gonna try to show too much of the playbook. We probably beat them by 17, take the foot off the gas. But going to the NFL, like I said, we're not gonna cover the Thursday night game. It's gonna be probably one of those games I watch, but that's just all I'm gonna do. But the biggest game I want to watch this week and cover is San Francisco versus the Cowboys. Now, everybody keep talking about how about them Cowboys. So they jumped out on the Giants the first game of the season 40-0. Now, I didn't discredit them because I was like, that's an NFL team. But now that I see the way the Giants are playing, and I'm like, you know what? The Giants just weren't that good. Then you turn around, they beat the next team. I'm like, okay, they beat them up pretty good. And then Arizona exposes them. And I was like, okay. You got a guy that's supposed to be an aero scientist, so pretty much an astronaut, if I'm saying that right. And he comes, he was, matter of fact, somebody told me this today, and it's just funny. They said he was applying for a high-end position in Amazon Prime, but Arizona called him. This is the dude that just beat the Cowboys.
I know,
Like,
I know who that is. We drafted him. We drafted him and let him go. So I know who that is, and we actually brought him back. So I like Josh Dobbs. Yes,
yeah.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
So, like I said, San Francisco, that I feel like outside of Andy Reid, Shanahan is one of the best play callers, especially when it comes to identity and imagination. I love the way he calls plays. He calls plays for the talent he has. He's not going to be like, I need this guy as a quarterback for my offense. If my guy can't throw, you know what? We're just going to shovel it to Christian McCaffrey. We're going to get it out of Debo. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do play action to take more guys out of the zone so he have bigger throwing windows. He uses all his imagination. I love the play calling. I feel like the defense for the Cowboys have not been the same since Trayvon Diggs got hurt, as well as number 11. I keep forgetting his name for some reason. He terrorizes everything. But he hurt his ankle last game, and I don't think he's going to be that guy. He's going to be playing, but I don't think he's going to be that guy. And I think I got San Francisco winning by 10. What you got, Coach?
10? Okay. All right. I have to make sure after tomorrow, check the injury report to see what's going on with Parsons.
Yeah, Parsons, yes.
It's a lot of people that know who I like as an NFL team or who I like to cheer for as an NFL team would strongly be like considering like what is going on with you. But it's just like I've seen them up close the first game of the season where they demolished my team. And I've seen them a couple of times. But I met that coach before in San Fran. I remember he was a receiver at Duke. And I met him when he was a young man, and always root for him because I love the run game, period. And then you have a host of backs on top of you have the most valuable player in the league right now. It's not Mahomes. It's not the quarterback for San Francisco. It's McCaffrey. Because he's must see. He's one of the guys in the NFL right now. I mean, Mahomes is really good, and he's always going to be considered the best right now as a quarterback. But the position that gets not looked upon as much definitely will get frowned upon as far as money goes. As far as the top guys go, Christian McCaffrey is that. I'm setting all this up to say Dallas gonna win, right?
I was waiting.
The reason why I say they're going to win, if Dallas takes care of the football, if they take care of the football and make San Fran one-dimensional, so they have to pass the ball because I know the reason that a lot of people were saying that Dallas is not going to win is because of McCaffrey and the run game, because that's what Arizona went back and did. That was your coordinator, their coach out there, knew what to do as far as scheming to run the ball against Dallas. Thing is, their offense didn't show up as far as traveling to Arizona. The fans were in Arizona, but the Cowboys' offense wasn't in Arizona. Thing is, this game right here, there's a lot going into this game. 10 points, that's a big number for a game like this. But if Dallas can take care of the ball and get some points early, and the main thing, earn your money this time, Dakota. Earn your money this game. Be the best quarterback on the field. Don't be the second best quarterback on the field when it's only two out there. You be the best quarterback on the field because Dallas defense is going to find a way. Last week, I know who they were playing against, and a lot of people were saying because, Diggs is not here, I'm like, wow, that guy got 2 interceptions, one of them for a touchdown that was taking his place. So that's going to be okay. And I said, the one thing that I do know about San Fran, everything that they're doing now, they're not going to be able to do at the end of the year. They're not.
Yeah.
They're not going to be able to do it at the end of the year. And I'm going to enjoy, especially when Garrett gets back and they play Cleveland. I'm going to enjoy that game because their division plays against our division this year. So they already took care of us, but they still got to play Baltimore. They still got to play Cincinnati. And Cincinnati and San Fran is always a good game. They still have to play Cleveland. So what they're doing right now is great, and I like to see it, but you're not going to run on the teams in our division. You already ran over us, but you're not going to run on the rest of them. So that's why I said, and I don't want to sound like I'm a San Fran hater, because I'm not, because I love what Debo does. I mean, I enjoy watching them on offense because it's just entertaining to see, because to me, being a defensive guy is run first. Everything predicates off their run, right? But, and then the thing that gets me, if I know this, and I'm sitting here, you and I are sitting right here, I know when they need some yards, they're running left behind Williams, 71. It's amazing the rest of the NFL don't know that. When they want to get some yards, they're going to run left behind Big Williams. And I'm like, how do you see this, but nobody in the league sees this? And I'm like, but at the same time, one thing I would do, and I know the coach, defense coordinator, I don't know him, but understand him, knowing the history of going against San Fran, going to be a lot better game plan than they have for Arizona. So I ain't gonna put no lunch money, but I might put some, a little gas money on, and I don't bet like that. But if I was to put something down big, I would put it on Dallas this game, for real. Just because everybody else, I like to be the devil's advocate and go against the grain a little bit.
And one thing that I have noticed, and another one extra reason I added to San Fran winning is the same reason why the Cowboys haven't won the Super Bowl yet. It is not a lack of talent. You know what is a lack? You know what is a lack of? It's a lack of identity on their offense.
Right.
Last year, I watched them for the last 2 years. They had one of the best offensive line. They didn't know who they wanted to get the ball to. Did we want to pound it to Zeke, or do we want our $70 million quarterback to take over?
That's why they got rid of Zeke.
But the thing is, they needed Zeke to take the pressure off of him, because they thought, well, Tony Pollard going to do it. Tony Pollard is not a 25 to 30 carry guy. He's not. He's coming off an injury, so why would you do that to him? And then the backup is 5'5". You can get him 15 carries max, maybe 15 touches, but he ain't taking that thumping all night. So now you got to rely on the throwing game. CeeDee Lamb, he can get open against anybody, but they don't have an offense identity, and it's still early. They could always get it, but I don't think they're gonna have it this game. And I don't need them to have it when we play them either. But like I said, that was another reason why I look at it, because they've been the same Cowboys year in and year out. They start off good, but once they lose who their identity is, which they are a running football team, their offensive line is heavy on the run.
I'm gonna tell you this one, brother. You know how people root against the team in Denver, as far as Colorado, the college team now. What are you going to do when those Cowboys win that game against San Fran? How are you going? It's going to be so hard to even communicate with a Cowboy after this game this weekend. They're going to pull it off, man. I'm telling you, they're going to beat them. And you know what you're going to be saying? They're going to be like, and you already know they're some of the worst fans now, for real.
We them boys.
Yeah. They're some of the worst fans now, especially if they're winning. Oh my God. You got Skips of the world. Oh my God. Even when they lose, they win with him. But it's going to be amazing to see, man. Because honestly, when the people say the thing about America's team, and really, but they are. I'm predicting them to win this game, for real. It's crazy, but I'm predicting them to win this game.
I say it's not a bad prediction. Like I said, if they win, as long as they're not playing against my Eagles, I don't really, hate on them too bad. But like I said, it could be any man's game. But of course, our time is running out a little bit. But Coach P, has been fun. This is our third episode. I think we gotta go. We gotta go on like a roll on, like a what is it? How you say that? We on a roll like a side of slaw.
That's it.
But like I said, we got our picks locked in. Most of them are the same, besides that San Fran and Cowboys. I can't wait to see that game. I'm Coach Stanley. This is Coach P, and we are out of here.
All right. Let me hear my
Soundstripe.
Trying to get a lot of dough. Anything is possible. Turn me up in the headphone.
Soundstripe.
Yeah. Trying to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles, cause anything is possible. Yeah. Oh man, I got a lot of goals. Stack that bread and by my nose. Anything is possible. Yeah. Trying to get a lot of dough and dirt through all the obstacles.